Motorhead Garage, presented by Dragonfire is brought to you by Amsoil, the first in synthetics, Shade Wagon, throw some shade, and by Dragonfire industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage.
Motorhead Garage is presented by Dragonfire and we are glad you're here. If you drive a big diesel truck like this, chances are you're looking for better performance, maybe better efficiency, or just good looks for your truck. Well, we've got something for you. You know, by the way, everybody, every time you look online, Tyson, everybody's talking about that elusive 1,000 horsepower mark. and you don't know if they're really doing it, and you don't know who to believe. You're kind of new to the business at Pointblank Performance, so can you make 1,000 horsepower, and why should I believe you?
That was the word on the street, and still the word on the street, right? Like, does your truck make 1,000 horsepower because it's a casual Tuesday, right? And we have a couple trucks that make 1,000 horsepower Dodges, and then we also have an L5P platform. And the first thing we wanted to do is prove it. And then on our YouTube channel, that's what we do. So every Friday we come to you guys, and then we're bringing it to you. And then on the table, we got a bunch of parts that if you guys want to build with Point Blank, we want you to be part of the team.
Well, let's talk about this valve cover here. This thing jumps out at me. It's beautiful. Is it just for looks, and why do I need one of these?
So to be straightforward, you're going to have a lot of guys right out the gate. They're going to shows. It's a show truck. They want that piece of real estate on their truck because they're going to powder coat it or run it billet. Awesome, I want you to. But then my next guy, it's a guy that's going to go for that 1,000 horsepower. What about 1,500? What about 3,000 horsepower? These valve covers are for those trucks. Got the dash 12 ports, that way we can let it breathe. We got the bottom all opened up. You can see all the fancy CNC work. We've got a VF3 that cuts this guy. This is made from one single piece of CNC billet aluminum. The purpose is the thing, so you can make billet as light as you want, right? But when you bolt this down, does it warp? Is it gonna warp over time? What's the workmanship behind it? Did you cut it for speed, or did you cut it to deliver to someone a product that I'm glad I'm building with you guys? That's my goal. So, and then to top it all off, you know, any of the guys, if you're running a valve cover, what are you gonna be putting it on? Are you gonna put it on the stock rocker box, or are you gonna put it on a billet rocker box, right? Because you can run the stock one, it's cool, it's made out of cast. If you're gonna win best of show, let's win best of show.
Let's look at that rocker box.
Yeah.
So what thought goes into that? What are some of the considerations you take when you're designing?
So this whole piece, the biggest thing is this, no leaks, right? Like, hands down, could be an awesome product, but if it leaks, it's junk, right? I'm the same mindset. Like, if it doesn't work, it's junk. The bottom, we sent it off to have the O-ring scan, so it uses your factory O-ring on your truck. So you literally bolt it on. But if you're the guy, you got the bigger head studs. Why would you run head studs? Because you're making big power. You gotta have a rocker box on there with this little notch in it. Cool story. But then we go in and we make all these provisions down here by the lifters and the rockers to get more oil down to, if you own a 5th gen, the hydraulic lifters. They're prone to fail. So we want to keep them lubricated.
And the reason behind all of that is because these things move and they shake, and it's very violent under there.
Very violent.
Which leads us to the next part here.
What is it? Our upper radiator for the 4th and 5th gen Dodge Cummins. So any of you guys got a 13 to 25 Ram, this is 304 stainless steel, and in our VF5 machine, we go in and we cut this from 304 stainless steel. So from the smallest part, we want you to have something you're proud of, and that's what this covers.
Beautiful. Now we're looking a little more into the higher performance stuff.
Yeah.
Clamps and ferrules when you're talking turbocharging.
Yep. Well, we have a ferrule with 4 O-rings, so 2 on one side, 2 on the other side, put a sleeve over it, and then we top it all off with our billet clamp. These are all available in 3 and 3.5. So that way, if you're looking for, hey, good power, 3. If you're looking for big power, let's make it 3.5.
Why is a heavy-duty clamp so important in a turbo diesel?
Heavy-duty clamp, and ours bolts together, right? There's no pushing a button, anything comes apart, something like that. When you're leaning on it 5,000 RPMs, the engine goes to torque over, guess what? You start moving those angles. And if this clamp rotates and slides off an O-ring, 1 PSI could be 30 horsepower.
The next piece, you told me, is a marriage saver.
Yeah.
And so, tell me why.
This one right here, if you own a 4th or 5th gen Dodge Cummins and you're doing a single turbo kit or you're doing a compound, you're gonna lose something in your truck. It's a problem? Well, guess what? We created a solution with the machines, a remote billet battery bracket. So we went in, we made a plate. This is for the OEM battery. So literally, your battery will slide in here underneath your driver door, and yes, it'll work with all the steps. Bolt this dude up, and we all know we're all electricians. I can run power and ground, like run power and ground to your battery, and guess what? We're back in business.
And you're winning Best in Show because that's a great looking
You're winning
piece.
Best in Show, and another thing, again, like I preach powder coat, but hey, if we're gonna do it, let's trick it all out. But if you wanna run raw billet, we engineer that thing to, you know, to win. The biggest thing is a lot of guys will run that, right? Aluminum, you can either run it clear or powder coat it, and then off we go.
All right, that's all fine and good, but what if we want to actually get more power to the truck? That's where we look at these manifolds.
We got to manufacture it, right?
We've
got to actually turn exhaust gases, which are heat, which are EGTs. We've got to put it through a manifold, send it to a turbocharger. Again, since 2021, we started manufacturing these, testing them. R&D, we've got that. They both make over 1,000 horsepower with your fuel and air setup. T4, T6, so if you're the big guy, you want to go for some big power, T6, daily driver, or 1,000 horsepower, we've done it. You guys have seen it.
Well, after a few years of research and development, these manifolds are finally available to the public from Pointblank Performance. You can find these and everything here and a whole lot more at pointblankperformance.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage and more great products for your vehicle when we come back.